Yo, what's up, ladies and gents? It's Andro here, back with another banger of a video. So, this whole idea of make money online, I didn't realize that it was so new to the South Africans, right? This whole idea of make money online, like it's been prevalent and banging and booming in the US for the past like 5 years or so. Like, I don't know when the internet started, when did it even start? But like, I just know, like the make money online, Wi-Fi money, this kind of stuff has been like pretty relevant for the past 5 years in the US. And one thing I do realize is that there's a 2 to 3 year, probably more, let's say 3 year lag between the US and South Africa. Now, this means you can kind of predict the future. Let me explain. Now, when something happens in the US, right? As I mentioned, there's a 3 year delay or lag when it comes to the rest of the world. South Africans, third world countries, India, some parts of Asia, Australia, that kind of thing. So US is usually at the frontier of things. Like, AI starts there, the new technology emerges there, everything new starts there. Now, a couple years later, it trickles down to like the third world countries like South Africa. So I saw all these people online, while in the US making money online. I'm like, yo, and no one in South Africa was doing this. Like literally, just maybe, like that one odd guy, in some high school doing it, making money online in some weird scammy way, right? You probably know that one guy or a couple guys, but it's becoming even more prevalent now, especially in South Africa, because you can make money from anywhere in the world, which is just like, it's just unreal. And to live in a place like South Africa, it's the ultimate. I even mentioned this in the previous YouTube video. And this video is going to be more like a rant, by the way. So if you don't like that, you can leave. I really don't mind. I just want the absolute goats here, like you actually want to watch these rants, because when I go on these rants, I don't want to, with like the title and the thumbnail and stuff, like I don't want to put myself in a box. When I just talk freely, then these ideas come from everywhere, because I've just absorbed so much information and books, and I'm constantly learning. Like I'm a learning machine, like Warren Buffett talks about. And Charlie Munger and these smart people, like I'm constantly learning. Like I love it. Like that's my obsession. Like I just love learning books, podcasts, YouTube videos, like obsessed with that. Okay. So when I talk, I get these ideas from all over. So I don't want to, when people say, oh, it's just ranting, like you can just leave, by the way. You have free will. You can click the video and leave if you really want to. But some people actually watch all the way through, and I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, how I make money online as a South African. I want to come back to this title. Now, as a South African, I know all the South Africans are very tribal. So that means if you see South Africa in the title or the thumbnail, people flock towards it because, like, I don't know, we just have this like pride about our country, which is amazing, right? But the economy part, that's where we struggle a bit. We got the culture, we got the rugby, we got the cricket, we got the sports, we got the culture, we got everything, right? But the economy, that's when people struggle a bit. And like my mission is essentially to help the economy. So like the grand, like let's say crazy vision is for our product to essentially boost the entire South African economy. So that's like, a pretty massive goal, and I can't do this alone, right? Like it's only with the help of you people sharing the videos, liking, and so more South Africans see this type of stuff. Okay, so I'm like a young guy. I started my business. It actually started to sign. Well, it was like profitable. Like people say they have a business, but actually they have an idea. Like you haven't signed a client, so you don't have a business. You have an idea. So my business was actually profitable, which means I got clients 20 months ago, and since then we generated over 5 million rand. Okay, so it's actually way more. But I know for some people, I don't want to send like crazy numbers because people, one, won't believe it, and two, it's just gonna feel so far out of reach. So for example, it took me like 1 year of struggling and like doing forex trading like you want to do. You think you're going to become a forex trader and trade yourself to a millionaire. I can read your mind. That's not going to work, by the way. It's not going to work. Trust me. I've tried all these things. I've tried trading. I lost all my savings in a single day. I tried drop shipping. I just wasted money on ads and stuff like that. All these business models do work. But in this video, I'm literally like, I would say I'm extremely persuasive guy. I'm extremely confident in what I do as well and very passionate. Like I was also a young guy trying to make money, by the way. You are seeing this video and it's almost like a parasocial relationship. You are obviously seeing this video, but you are on the other side and it feels like out of reach. But like I'm just a normal guy as well. Like I'm trying to make money, trying to take care of my family and loved ones. Like I'm also trying to make shit happen, just like you. I'm no different. Like I'm just, I just started maybe a bit earlier and I figured something out that helped me a ton. I was able to travel to Dubai. I was able to take my entire family to Thailand, all expenses paid as a 22-year-old guy. That's it sounds kind of crazy, but for me, I feel so behind still. So there's like this fine balance where it's like unreal for people listening to this, like how you're able to make so much money online, and yet I feel broker than ever because I feel like I can make like 2 million rand a month. Like that's within actually like 4 million rand a month. 4 million rand a month, which is like, $200,000 a month. I'm just timesing it by 20. It's fine. It's like 18, $1 to rand is like 18 or something. I'm just timesing it by 20. It doesn't really matter. But like $200,000 a month, which is like 4 million rand a month. Like that's what I feel like I can achieve. Like right now, that feels like achievable. It feels like within reach, within grasp. And currently, we're not there yet, right? Which obviously there's a gap. That creates a gap, and that gap causes pain. But most people don't even think that they can sign their first client online, okay, which is like I would say at least charging $2,500 a month for your first client in the US, on the lower end $2,000 a month, which is like 38,000 rand, that you can do. And back to my story, when I started, I dropped out of college June of 2022, okay? And exactly a year later, like June of the next year. So June of 2022, I dropped out of college. I did a year of college. And I tried stuff. I tried the Forex. I tried the drop shipping, like I mentioned. I did crypto. Like I made money in the bull run, but like everyone made money. I tried all this stuff, okay? I tried everything. And me as a young guy also trying to make money like you was like, okay, what is the best business model I can start right now? And it was a social media marketing agency, which I'm doing right now. So social media, you already know what that is. Marketing agency. So I do marketing for business owners in the US, and that you can choose any niche. By the way, like the age doesn't matter if you're young or old watching this. Anyone can do it. You truly just need to have this delusional self-confidence that you can make it happen. It's not about the strategies and all you commenting about, oh, give me the strats. It's not always about the strategies. Even Tony Robbins, who's like a multi-billionaire in dollars, by the way, like he says success is 80% psychology and 20% strategies. So it's 80% psychology, success. He's worth like, I don't know, $3 billion, probably way more. And he says success is 80% psychology, which is like the mindset part of it, okay? Not necessarily the strategies, which is also important. That's what I teach like in our community, the strategies part, which you can check out down below. It's a free community. It's like we put 100 hours into this community. It's free. You can check it out. It's like a 10-hour crash course on how to sign your first couple clients, all for free. So we're just trying to help out the South African guys and girls, just help you guys out for free. And then obviously, selfishly speaking also, if we help you out for free, like we've done with a bunch of clients, make them an extra $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, all for free, right? It's like 40,000 to 50,000 rand a month for free. You can then join our paid one, which is also, you can check the website out down below. It's like, in the description box, there's like, sign your next 5 clients, and then there's like a link. You can watch that video in there. It's like a breakdown of our entire journey. It's like a 40-minute video. Highly recommend you watch it. People love it. It just shows like a transparent journey of what we went through, okay? So yeah, basically I dropped out in 2022, right? Yes, okay, and June. And then June of 2023, I took my entire family to Thailand. So literally a year later. Things can happen really quick, but also like I was working extremely hard. Like I invested $10,000 in my first mentorship. Also, it sounds like 180,000 rand. And you are listening to this, and you're like, "What on earth is this guy saying?" Like, he's talking like $10,000 is nothing. Like in the grand scheme of things, if you're really ambitious, like I don't think people truly understand. Like I'm extremely like obsessed with what I do. Like it's actually. Like every single minute of my day is optimized. Like I'm a bit crazy, okay? I actually even like have to say that. Like I'm extremely obsessed with what I do. Again, that's obviously how I was able to achieve this stuff. Like from the outside in, I might look like a just a normal guy, but like I'm extremely competitive, extremely. So I just like that. That's in my nature, okay? So it takes a lot of hard work. But if you want to make a doctor's salary, right? It took me 3 months to make a doctor's salary, okay? Which is like, I don't know how much doctors make. I was making 200,000 rand a month in 3.5 months of actually, starting my outreach and building up the business and all of that. 3.5 months. it took me to make 200,000 Rand a month. The next month, I made like, it was $20,000, like 360,000 Rand. And then the next month, I made like over 400,000 Rand a month. Okay. So it can happen really quick. And that was like how much? 2 years ago? That was 2 years ago. So we've got big goals, very, very big goals. And there's a lot of books on it, like, the magic of thinking big and all this stuff. Highly recommend you read a lot of books. Like I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, I'm obsessed with learning. Even Warren Buffett, he reads, 600 pages a day. Charlie Munger says he didn't know a single person on earth, a wise guy who didn't read all the time. Charlie Munger, when he used to go on meetings, rest in peace, he's not alive anymore. But when he used to go on meetings, he would, arrive like an hour earlier and just read. He would read all the time. He's read like every single biography. Bill Gates goes on Think Weeks just to read. Tai Lopez reads like a book a day. Like all these people are constantly reading. Like even Alexander the Great, the greatest conqueror of all time, he traveled with his library of books, and his mentor was Plato, who was like the greatest thinker, and he obviously read a lot of books as well. Like all these people are constantly reading, and then people are like, oh no, you don't have to read. Like I still try and read like a book a week. I don't always get there, but like let's say a book every 10 days. Okay, but I'm kind of going on a side tangent here. So like I mentioned, it took me 3.5 months to make $200,000, 200,000 Rand a month. Now, that was like how much? $12,000. So it's a bit more than 200K. But here's the thing, I was working with US people. That's the biggest thing. So what I did is I set up I teach all of this like in our community, not in the free one, in the paid one. The free one is more of like a foundational crash course, like how the actual business model works, how to craft your offer, how to choose your niche. So that's all in the free community. The paid community is more like personal help, me and you, just like I hop on Zoom calls, I help you out, I show you how to build the business. But obviously, for the paid community, you need some funds to invest. It's paid, okay, by the name of it. So if you have like 2,000 Rand in your bank account, that's not going to work, okay? But we can hop on a call and see if you're the right fit for it. But you need to set up your business in the US, which you can use businessrocket.com. In like a week, you can set your business up in the US, and then you get like a tax number, which you use to create the Stripe account, okay? And then you use that Stripe account to then hop on Zoom calls with US people, and then you send over that link. And then that obviously, once they pay you, obviously you need the sales script, you need the sales skills, you need the persuasion, you need the service. So there's a lot of things that go into this. Like, you can't just expect to watch this and make like a million Rand. It doesn't work like that. I put a lot of effort into this. Like I've spent close to 1 million Rand on coaches. It's like $50,000 on coaches and consultants and stuff like that. Like 1 million Rand, just on my self-education. So like I'm obsessed with this stuff. So you can't. I see a lot of people trying to do this as like a side hustle, and like, I'm gonna do waitering on the side. I'm gonna do forex trading on the side and like some drop shipping, and then I'll do the social media marketing agency. It's like, no. You need to go absolutely all in with this. I went all in. That's how I was able to get results so quickly. It's because I only focused on one business, put all of my effort and time on one thing. It's already so difficult to succeed. How do you think you're gonna succeed if you're doing all the side projects? Right? You're waitering and getting some money there. Obviously, I also waited. I got some money there. I did that for like a month, and I'm like, fuck this. Like, it shouldn't take me an hour to make 30 Rand. What is this? What is this planet? It shouldn't take me an hour to make 30 Rand, and that's when I knew I should become an entrepreneur. It's because it shouldn't take me 1 hour to make 30 Rand, bro. Like, what planet are we on? That was when I was like, yo, I need to do something else. And then I started to do my research, and I did the drop shipping and all of that, like I mentioned. And then I stumbled upon SMMA. I actually started working with Iman Gaji back in 2022. So that was a pretty cool experience. The new viewers watching this, you probably don't know about that. But back in 2022, I worked with Iman Gaji. I was part of his content team. And at the time, I was making $1,500 a month. And then, a couple months later, we were making $3,000 a month, which is like 50,000 Rand a month. And that was when I felt my absolute richest. It was when I was making 50,000 Rand a month, because I basically went from zero to hero, from making no money to $3,000 a month, or like 50,000 Rand a month, like 55, whatever. And I just felt like on top of the world. Like, I was at the time 21. And the funny thing is, even at the age of 21, when I started my SMMA, right, my agency, I was making 400,000 Rand a month at 21, which is pretty insane. Like, I was obviously traveling the world. I went to, like I mentioned, Dubai, Greece, Bali and stuff like that. I'm not traveling as much this year. This year is more of like a locking in year, just like the info product is going amazing. Agency, we're running ads, like everything is just going well. Like, when you're traveling, you obviously get a different perspective on the world, but you can't really lock in on your business, okay? It's good. Like, I would definitely suggest that once you make, $20,000 a month or so to even $10,000 a month, I would highly suggest to start traveling, seeing the world, seeing what's out there. It gives you a different perspective. It does like stuff to you. I'm not exactly sure. And then you come back and then you're motivated to work again. And that's basically how it goes, okay? So this is more high-level stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to go, even on my previous, the recent video, not the recent one, but like how I made my first million Rand in South Africa is sitting at like 30,000 views at the moment. So all those viewers, well, I can't really say it in this one, but let's say this one also does well. You can check out my other videos as well. Like there I go very more tactical, like, how to set up, the business. I even show that. There's other videos, even like the practical, like I documented my entire journey. My first ever video, right? Like my first ever video on this channel, I was making no money. I had no money. But I always knew. And that's the thing you really need to cultivate. Like I said, success is 80% psychology, not strategies. Okay, like I've obviously achieved some level of success, and I'm trying to see you win as well, right? Like we're basically the same person. I'm talking to the camera right here. I'm like basically talking to myself. I'm talking to myself like 2-3 years ago. Okay, when he started that journey as well. So I just want to make it a bit easier on yourself. Okay, it really comes down to like persistence. That's all it really comes down to, like consistency and like just pushing through it. I was just in the sauna with a friend after we wrapped up our gym session, and the first like let's say 2 years of your entrepreneurship journey, when you lock into like one service or one like the agency, which I would suggest, let's say you start your agency, the first 2 years is like Bitcoin's journey from like $0 to $50,000. It's that journey, like $0 to $50,000 in Bitcoin. Like that chart is like the first 2 years of your entrepreneurship agency journey. Is the exact same. If you look at the chart, it like drops down like 80%. It's like very volatile. It's like up and down, and you want to stay stoic during that time. That's why this is more of a masculine pursuit. Okay, if you're a woman watching this, you can still be in your masculine frame, but it's definitely more masculine pursuit. And just biologically speaking, men are more masculine. That's why more men are CEOs. It's definitely possible for women, but it's going against biological nature. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, okay? So it's more masculine. It's like stoicism and like cold. You're like very cold as well. Like you don't care about emotions. When stuff goes up and down, you don't care. You are just completely unfazed with what happens. In the start of this year, a good example, in the start of this year, I lost 150,000 Rand in one day, okay? And guess what? 5 minutes later, I didn't care. Most people, they lose 150,000 Rand and like their entire life is ruined. It's like the entire week is screwed, like they're just like freaking out. I was like, okay, this just happened. I can do absolutely nothing about it. I can, do some tweaks here and there, whatever. 5 minutes later, I was on vacation. I'm like, no, okay, let's not let this ruin my vacation. Let's go to the beach. Like I even forgot about it like 10 minutes later. So that's how you want to be, because women, I'm going on a completely different side tangent here, but women, like they obviously, the emotions, that's what makes them beautiful. It's like the up and downs. It's like they're like a storm. Okay. It's like, it's all over the place, femininity, which is fine. Like that's obviously part of, that's cool. Like that's awesome. Right. But men, if they are up and down and like, your business is going to fail. Okay. You need to stay stoic and like, you need to be like the rock in like this crazy ocean. Okay. So all that to say, it's definitely possible. Like obviously I did it. Okay, I did it. But obviously I'm constantly striving for more. Like I mentioned, I'm still feeling broke. Like it's like I'm still, because my ceiling of what I think is possible increased so much. So as you make money, people think that when they hit their first $10,000 a month or 180,000 Rand or 2,000 Rand a month, they feel like that's going to completely change their life. And it does in a certain aspect, but also I felt absolutely nothing when I hit my first $10,000 a month. Nothing. I felt nothing. It's like I'm just like, oh shit, I've got all these clients now. It was actually just more stress. That's all that came with it. Now, also, I haven't worked a 9 to 5 ever because I told myself that. And when I say something, it happens. Okay. That's one thing you also need to cultivate. All right. Is when you say something, you execute every single time. I haven't missed a single gym session in 7 years and counting. Never. Okay. Like never. Obviously, there was times where I was sick and I physically couldn't go. But if it was chest day, if it was leg day, if it was back, doesn't matter. I'm there. Okay. It's like I've never skipped in the actual sense. I've never skipped a gym session my entire 7 years. You need to just be like, and that's where the psychology and the mindset comes in. So if you can get in shape in your early 20s and maybe even late teens, that sets you up like a lot, especially for your later years. All right. So because it builds like this consistency, this discipline, all which is necessary for success. Okay, because it's a long journey. Okay, it's a long journey, but also like I mentioned, it can happen very quick. And there's a saying that says it happens slower than you expect and faster than you could ever imagine. Okay, let me just say that again. So it happens slower than you expect, but faster than you could ever imagine. So there's another saying that says when it rains, it pours, which means that you for a while it's sunny. Well, that's not probably the right analogy, but for a while you're gonna get no clients. Nothing is gonna happen. Probably for like 3-6 months. Okay. If you obviously get a mentor and they help you, it's gonna happen quicker. That's the only thing. Okay. But you pay with time. But you pay with money. Sorry. So you can pay with two things: time or money. Time or money. And in the beginning, right? I would suggest paying with money as quickly as possible because then you can shrink the time. All right. So you're paying with either one. You just pay with the one you value less. That's all. That's all. So if you value your time less, you're gonna pay with time. But if you value money less, right, you're gonna pay with money. Okay. So I paid with money because I value that less because I want to make more. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. So you pay with money and then you get your time back. Okay. So because you don't want to be rich at like 60, like who cares, right? But anyway, back to the analogy of when it rains, it pours. For a while, you're gonna get nothing. Nothing is gonna happen. It's like the entrepreneurship filter, which I call it. It's like I wrote about that on my newsletter as well. And when you join the free community, you also get added to the newsletter, which is pretty cool. We send out 2 emails a week, just pure value. So for a while, nothing is gonna happen. The entrepreneurship filter is like God or the universe testing you to see if you're actually about this life. If you can actually take it, you're gonna get nothing for 3-6 months, and then in the next month, you're gonna sign like 5 clients in a week. That's basically how it happens. So when it rains, it pours. Okay. For a while, you're going to get nothing. And then all of a sudden you get everything. Like I mentioned, it happens slower than you expect and faster than you could ever imagine. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you like these rants, let me know. But I know some people like more structured and stuff like that. The previous video was a bit more structured. This one was a bit more, like all over the place. I feel like that's where I speak the best. That's where I get the best ideas. That's where things just flow. Like, before this video, I, wrote down the title. It's on my notes here. How I make money online as a South African. And I wanted to make some notes. And I'm just like, fuck this, I know what I'm talking about. Like I've done this stuff. I know what I need to say. So cool. If you like this video, you know what you need to do down below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. If you don't have to. I don't mind. But I know some people will. So I see you on the next one. Bye-bye.